Greetings, literature enthusiasts. Today, we find ourselves exploring the cradle of science fiction with a discussion on Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley's Frankenstein, the 1818 text. In this work, Shelley raises profound questions about knowledge, creation, responsibility, and the human condition through the lens of Gothic horror and Romantic literature. Frankenstein, the 1818 text, begins as Robert Walton, an explorer, embarks on a journey to the North Pole. Walton communicates his experiences through letters to his sister, Margaret Saville, back in England. He writes of his isolation and his encounter with an unusual stranger. The stranger is Victor Frankenstein, a scientist from Geneva, and through him, the central narrative of the novel unfolds. Victor tells Walton his life story, beginning with his childhood in Geneva, surrounded by his loving parents and his adopted cousin, Elizabeth Lavenza, who is more like a sister. Victor grows up with his best friend, Henry Clerval, and they both develop a profound interest in the sciences. Victor's passion for understanding the natural world intensifies when he witnesses the destructive power of lightning during a storm. He leaves for university in Ingolstadt, and there his scientific pursuits become obsessive. He becomes fixated on discovering the secret of life and death, ultimately aiming to overcome mortality itself. After intense research and experimentation, Victor successfully animates lifeless matter. But instead of the beautiful being he envisioned, he has created a grotesque humanoid creature. The sight of this monster fills Victor with horror, and he abandons his creation, fleeing from his apartment. During this time, the creature struggles with its new existence alone. Despite his monstrous appearance, he yearns for human connection and acceptance. However, society recoils in fear and disgust at his visage, causing him to retreat and live in solitude. Meanwhile, Victor falls ill from the shock and the toll of his intense studies. His friend Clerval nurses him back to health, unaware of the monster Victor has created. He finally returns to Geneva upon hearing tragic news. His younger brother William has been murdered, and their housemaid, Justine Moritz, has been accused of the crime. Victor knows that his creation is the true culprit. Despite this, he remains silent, and Justine is wrongfully executed. Tormented by guilt and grief, Victor retreats into the mountains, where he encounters the creature. The creature, now fluent in language, tells Victor his story. He describes his first experiences and his attempt to integrate with a family, the de Lacys, who reject him due to his appearance. Enraged and despondent at the rejection and loneliness, the creature admits to killing William and implicates Justine out of revenge. The creature presents Victor with an ultimatum: create a female companion to alleviate his loneliness, or he will continue to wreak havoc on Victor's life. Victor reluctantly agrees and travels to England with Clerval to gather research for the second creation. However, haunted by the implications of his work, Victor destroys the half-formed female creature. The enraged monster swears revenge on Victor, ominously promising to be with him on his wedding night. Soon after, the creature murders Clerval. Victor is accused of the murder, falling into a debilitating illness once again. Eventually, he's acquitted and returns to Geneva, where he marries Elizabeth. Misunderstanding the creature's threat, Victor believes he is the intended victim on their wedding night. However, the creature kills Elizabeth instead, leaving Victor devastated and vengeful. Victor pursues the creature across the icy wastelands of the north, vowing to destroy him. This pursuit is what leads Victor to Walton's ship. As Victor concludes his story, he pleads with Walton to kill the creature if he dies. Despite his worsening condition, Victor remains obsessed with his quest for revenge until his death. After Victor's demise, Walton discovers the creature mourning over his creator's body. Expressing remorse and a sense of profound loss, the creature announces his intention to end his own life, so that no others will suffer at his hands. He then departs into the icy wilderness, leaving Walton and us to reflect on the tragic tale. The novel Frankenstein explores deep and complex themes, primarily centering around ambition, creation, responsibility, and isolation. Victor's hubristic desire to create life positions him as a tragic figure whose pursuit of knowledge leads to his downfall. Shelley presents a nuanced portrayal of the creature, who, despite being the monster, elicits sympathy due to his cruel abandonment and societal rejection. The creature is not born evil, rather it's the lack of compassion and understanding that drives him to malevolence. The novel also explores the consequences of shirking responsibility. Victor's refusal to take responsibility for his creation not only leads to numerous tragic deaths, but also positions the creature in a pitiable state of existential agony. Moreover, the theme of isolation is prevalent. Both Victor and his creation endure isolation, Victor, due to his single-minded pursuit of scientific knowledge, and the creature, because of his horrific appearance and the fear he instills in others. Shelley utilizes the sublime natural world to magnify the emotional states of the characters, contributing to the overall gothic and romantic elements of the novel. Ultimately, Frankenstein serves as a cautionary tale about the pursuit of knowledge without forethought of the consequences. In conclusion, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley's Frankenstein, the 1818 text, presents a haunting narrative that grapples with the human condition, the limitations of scientific exploration, and the consequences of abandoning one's creation. This timeless tale continues to resonate with readers, reminding us of our responsibilities to our creations and to each other. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Frankenstein. If you appreciated this deep dive into literature and want more, please consider subscribing to our channel. We regularly bring you detailed summaries and analyses of important works of literature from around the world. Please hit the bell icon as well so you will be notified of our future posts. Until next time, keep turning those pages and diving into the wonderful world of books.